Alright, hello everybody, this is Zacharias. We are back with more of Avadon 2 the Corruption. We are still in Monitor Base C right now, exploring and talking to people. So let's continue. Hornet Bowl, we'll sell that. This workshop is dedicated to research on the corruption. Experiments, studies, autopsies, anything that can bring a little bit of order to the pure chaos of the corruption. A small Hochlandan woman smiles nervously and approaches you. Welcome, Hand of Avadon. I am Seeker Machi. I keep this workshop operating smoothly. Please feel free to look around. Do not touch any samples with exposed skin, though they may dissolve you. Tell me about this workshop. It is the current center of research on the corruption. It is well equipped, as you can see. There are many guards and quality equipment. So we should be able to learn a lot before this place is lost. Who built all this? Hanvar's Council. They want to understand the corruption as well as possible, which is why they build the monitor bases. They are very expensive and difficult to create and maintain, and we try to justify the cost. You think this place will be lost? Inevitably, the corruption hates order. The longer we are here, the worse the problems. This is what cost us monitor bases A and B. What source of problems? As time passes, more things break. More horrors are drawn to these lands. More monsters just mysteriously appear inside. Guards grow ill and have to be evacuated. I've seen the process before. It is happening here now. Faster, in fact, than before. What do you know about monitor bases A and B? I am the only person who was at both when they crumbled and had to be evacuated. The process is always the same. Slow decay, then rapid decay. Finally, a swarm of horrors. The result is always an abandoned base along with a number of deaths. Seeker Machi walks around the workshop with you, carefully supervising the experiments and autopsies that are taking place. You have to be very careful, she says. Things come back to life all the time, usually at an inconvenient moment. You study the corruption. Yes, our work here is dedicated to the study of the corruption. How it behaves, where it came from, who lives here, what is in the core, and if possible, how to heal this wound in Linnaeus. Where did it come from? We don't know. No idea. We have looked for signs of the people or civilization that created it, but all of them have been rubbed away. Or, which is even more terrifying, maybe nobody created it. Maybe it just happened, and it can happen again somewhere else. How does the corruption behave? It destroys any order, any life, it eats away at it. Never eat or drink anything that originates in the corruption. All you will do is take its sickness inside you. Do you think the corruption can be cured? I don't. It is too big, too powerful. I won't stop looking for ways to try, though. What is the core? The heart of the corruption and the geographical center. The closer you get to it, the more powerful and chaotic the magic of this land gets. We don't even send scouts there. It's just too dangerous. And yet, I wish someone would go there and tell me what they find. It could be truly useful. Is there anything you are looking for in particular? At first, Seeker Machi seems nervous about dealing with the Hand of Avadon. You are able to convince her, with effort, that your desire to help is genuine. She says, actually, there is something you might be able to do. There is a rare sort of manifestation that appears in the corruption. We call it a Zephyr. It is a shade, it looks like a human, translucent and misshapen. And, most importantly, it can talk. A Zephyr has been sighted to the north. I want you to talk to it and tell me what it says. Are they dangerous? Oh, very. They generally try to kill anyone who gets close. However, they sometimes talk first. Why is it so special that they can talk? Because it is the only way that the corruption has ever tried to communicate with us. It is a rare bit of order in the middle of overwhelming chaos. If the corruption has an intelligence, we might be able to understand it, or even deal with it. What exactly is it? On the eastern border of the corruption, near a scouting outpost, an outpost I've heard a rumor you are going to travel to. If you encounter it, all I want to know is what it says. A simple conversation, but very dangerous. Seeker Machi is the lead researcher at Monitor Base C. She told you how the corruption sometimes creates shades with the ability to talk. Speaking with these manifestations might provide insight into the nature of the wasteland. A Zephyr has been spotted to the north, on the border between the corruption and healthy lands. Machi offered you a reward if you can speak with it. Okay. There is a young woman of the wild realm here, standing at a table packed with crafting materials. Leather tools, flasks of peculiar substances. She is working them into devices and containers for the research here. It's a cramped and unpleasant little workshop, and she isn't happy about it. As you approach, she snorts, throws an awe onto the table with disgust, and says, "They expect too much. This is madness. No respect for my craft." Then she notices you. She blushes slightly. "I did not mean to express an honest opinion in front of a hand of Avadon. Apologies. I am Marlene. I am the craftmaster here. Someone has to do it." "How did you come to be here?" "I volunteered. The pact asked for workers. The pay was good. I saw a chance to work with rare, valuable materials and learn more about my craft. I wanted to see more of the world than my tribe's lands. I chose to come out here. It was educational. After all, I learned that I was a fool." "Tell me about the corruption." "People were not meant to live here." She raises her hand. You see that it trembles slightly. "It's eating me away from the inside until I can't even trust my own limbs." "Why do you stay?" "A tragically overdeveloped and foolish sense of duty." Marlene cleans and trims a piece of leather while she talks to you. Time of the corruption has unnerved her. Her hands tremble slightly and her cuts are often slightly uneven. She notices the flaws, of course, and they only serve to make her angrier. "What sort of things do you craft?" "Containers, shackles, alchemical equipment for the analysis of monster samples. We do a lot of research here, and I give Seeker Machi what she needs to do our job. It's important, I suppose, but nothing close to my true skill." "Why do you analyze the monsters?" "Good question. I'm in favor of stabbing them and burning the bodies. Machi thinks that, through study, we can find ways to talk to them or easily eradicate them. Good luck. This is a corruption. Nothing ever works out well here." "What is your true skill?" "Leathercraft. I was a master at making leather armor and garb for trade. That's one of the reasons I came here. I thought I would be able to get, I don't know, some special monster leather, drake skins, something to craft into something truly glorious. It hasn't happened that way." "Why hasn't it worked out?" "The skins of the beasts that live here rot away not long after they die. They can't be cured. They just smell bad and fall apart." "You can craft drake skins?" "I can, but they are rare. I love working with that material, but I can never get it." "Wait, you're a hand of Avadon, right? You hunt and kill things? I'll tell you what, if you find 2 drake skins and 500 coins, I'll make something nice for you. It's a fraction of my regular price. I just want to make some armor again." You said something about rare materials." "I'm glad that you asked. Sometimes..." She sighs. "This is really disgusting. Let me try again. Sometimes the horrors of the corruption become corrupted, infected. The power of this place infuses them. When this happens and the creature is killed, the magic can infuse parts of them." She gags slightly. "I can sometimes transfer that power into a mundane item, resulting in something more powerful." "So you want me to bring weird things you cut off of dead bodies that seem to be magical in some way?" "Yes. It will help to increase our knowledge and you will be paid in magic." "That sounds gross." "I know, right?" Marlene is a craftmaster at Monitor Bay Sea. When not researching the creatures and materials of the corruption, she likes to practice her fine leatherwork. If you can bring 2 drake skins to her, plus some money for other materials, she can make quality items for you. Note that not all drakes are large and powerful enough to produce a useful skin. Marlene is a craftmaster at Monitor Bay Sea. She spends most of her time researching the creatures and artifacts of the corruption. Occasionally, the materials she finds can be worked into useful items. If you could find anything particularly magical or weird in the corruption, she might be able to do something interesting with it. Okay, what is down here? This wheel has a large chain wrapped around it. The chain then threads into a hole in the floor. You guessed correctly that it controls the gate to the south. You turn the wheel enough to open the gate and then stick a chunk of broken chair leg into the mechanism to hold it in position. Okay. Glad I handled that fine without having to heal. It takes a lot of effort, but you finally managed to turn this massive wheel enough to raise the gate a few feet. Use a chunk of rock to hold the wheel in position. You'll be able to use this entrance now. Oh, sweet. So now we now have the easier way to get into Monitor Base C. Alright, so far we have 2 quests for a couple people. Okay, looks like that area is blocked off, unfortunately. Oh, what the heck? Okay, that's honestly annoying that that can happen. First stage. The treaty that formed the pact was signed by representatives of the 5 member states in cycle 6000, 315 years before the current date. Overlord Hanvar of Hoklunda, architect of the pact, was present at the signing. He even had several years to appreciate the triumph before his assassination. There were several years of predictable tumult after the signing. Each member state had its own little civil war, as proud citizens who refused to surrender any sovereignty to outsiders emerged and were crushed. Of course, Hanvar was so associated with the creation of the Alliance that sort of bounty hunters, assassins, and shadow walkers were falling over themselves to be the one to kill him first. Eventually, of course, someone succeeded. Once those who objected to this new order were safely dead, a new and unprecedented period of peace and prosperity came to the Pact's members. The Pact members no longer spent valuable resources fighting each other. Instead, they were free to defend themselves from the far lands. These states, in turn, were never united, and their raids and barbarian incursions were met by powerful defenders. Within decades, these scattered and demoralized states did little without the permission of the Pact. The last 5 Pact states remained proud. On the surface, they were united and strong. Underneath, national pride and ancient grudges conspired to break the alliance apart. Resentment turned to violence in Cycle 6203, and the Black Age began. Okay, that's kind of confusing with all these like Tinker Mages and characters that look similar to ours. There are several Red Scouts here, gnawing on twisted bones, bragging about their exploits, and getting into fights. The humans around them ignore the chaos. Every wretch here means one less scouting mission they have to go on. A monitor of the Pact army is sitting by the small fire, drinking ale and tending to a small pot of stew. He is an aging warrior, the Kava, wrinkled and worn. He nods to you. Have a seat, Hand. I am Monitor Saber. Heard you were here. Always a seat and a warm meal for a loyal warrior, even one from Avadon. What led you to serve here? He shrugs. Hatred, I guess. I hate the corruption. Hate all the good soldiers it took. I serve here to try to control it. I want to keep it out of our homes. That is why I spent my whole career as a soldier out here. You think that the corruption will grow? We don't know. It never has, not much anyway, but it might. That's why we have the monitor bases here, despite what they cost. We need to fight the corruption, explore it, learn to defeat it before it figures out how to grow. How long have you served out here? 10 years. I look older than that, though, don't I? The corruption has a way of eating at you, burning you away. It's a sacrifice we all make to fight it. I've served longer than most, so I was in Monitor Base B when it fell. Of the people in this base, only Seeker Machi has seen more action than me. Tell me about Monitor Base B. It fell. It always happens. When someone tries to live in the corruption, it fights back. Things fail. Monsters appear. Forces get spread thin. Then a final attack. A surprise swarm of monsters that drives us out. It hasn't happened here yet, but it will. I see the signs. And then I will serve in Monitor Base E or G or Z. We'll draw the plan's madness to us so it doesn't go somewhere else. Monitor Saber takes his stew, sighs, and shakes his head. Nothing ever tastes right out here. He has salt. What did you want to discuss? What is the current situation? Crumbling. We've lost several sections of the base. Forces are spread thin. Monitor Base C will probably suffer the same fate as the others, though I thought it'd last longer than it has. You lost sections. Several areas have had to be sealed off. In one, several horrors just happened to get loose, and then they bred. And another, cracks appeared in the floor. Lava came out. Couldn't stay there. It's what the corruption does. It makes sure that plans don't work no matter how careful you are. How many soldiers do you have? 3 blades. I command 1. The others are out hunting and investigating. Hamvar's council and Avadon make their demands on us, and we have to fight off the horrors at the same time. We're very vulnerable now. Sleep with your sword close at hand. You are spread too thin? He pours you some more ale. We are. That's why I'm so glad to see you. I know hands have a reputation for helping those they meet. Only for pay, I know, but Ophira has given me supplies to compensate you for any help you can give. If you can kill some of the horrors that are menacing us, we might be able to keep the space open for months longer. What led you to serve here? You said that you could use help. Monitor Saber nods. This is how a base falls. First, things go wrong, then more wrong. Then our defenses develop gaps and get spread thin. Then the swarm comes. Our defenses are weak now, but they can be restored. What we need to do is find where swarms are forming and destroy them before they attack. He points to the south. The wing down that way was lost to escaped horrors and had to be sealed. I need you to go in there and make sure that not too many horrors have appeared. Kill them and tell me what you found. I will have the gates open for you. It was an actual wing of this base? Yes. These bases are built in modules so that sections can be sealed off as they are lost to horrors or lava or other mishaps. It is full of monsters and it is right next to where you sleep. That's life in the corruption. Sweet dreams. Any idea what is in there? No, we hear snarling and howling, but I haven't been able to spare any soldiers to go in. It can't be too bad, though. How do you know? Because we are all still alive. Monitor Saber commands the defense of the Monitor Base C. Those defenses have grown weak, however, and he fears that a swarm of monsters can attack at any moment. He will pay a bounty if he can eliminate these threats before they become serious. The wing of the base south of Saber's barracks had to be sealed off. He had the gates open for you. Explore it and kill any threats you find. This room is full of wretch scouts. The Monitor Base has recruited a bunch of wretches to explore the waste, and they seem to be adjusting to the work very well. Far better than the miserable humans around them, anyway. Their leader, a short, stocky creature covered with dust and scars, walks over to greet you. You Hand? I hear. Hand of Avadon here. Big excitement. All the humans scared of you. I am Garunk, hero of the scouts here. You good. You bring us lots of work. The Monitor Base uses wretch scouts? Some, not all. Wretches good scouts for corruption. Bad air, bad monsters don't bother us as much. We are strong and fast. Good for it. Better than humans. Why are you so much better at scouting the corruption than humans? Not sure. My guess is because humans are weak and pathetic while wretches are tough and strong. What humans say when they say true thing they not supposed to say. No offense. Yeah, that it. Runk the scout keeps talking to you, though he occasionally has to go keep 2 wretches from fighting. Good you here, Malik. You make us have lots of work, lots of good places to go. I create work for you? Yeah, you search corruption, means scouts go first. Means we get lots of work, lots of pay. Scout before you so we die instead of you. Get to even explore core maybe. Great pay. You scout ahead of me? Yes. Look for Miranda, what's his name? Big human trader. We walk all over for her. Lots of work, lots of hours, good pay. Even find tracks and stuff. We help. How are you paid? Per mission. The farther in we go, more we get. Bonus for all if one of us die. It's good work, we live a lot, nice scenery, get to eat monsters. You eat the monsters? Why not? Delicious. Humans can't eat them, but only because humans sad and weak. Okay, well, it makes sense why the wretches can survive and the corruption just fine, as opposed to humans. Why not just have the wretches move here to the monitor base or something? You find, unsurprisingly, that you have been ambushed. Several stalkers lurch out of the shadows. One of them is much larger than the others. It looks at you and emits a loud screeching noise. This is a little mysterious, as the creature has no orifices you can see from which such a sound can emerge. Some sage here will probably eventually give the thing an autopsy and solve the mystery. Your immediate attention is currently taken up by self-defense. Thank goodness for the ability to haste, right? And all this other stuff. Large stalker lets out another loud screech. You hear shuffling sounds coming from the shadows. The hideous creature lets out one final screech and collapses. Another horror, the corruption is gone. Limitless hordes of them remain. Ah, perfect. So, another lockpick. You know, if I have that blessing pylon at my disposal, I might as well just get rid of sell these crystals. The Recuperation crystal I'm still good with, though. There were a bunch of monsters back there. I killed them. Good. I will post some guards back there to keep that area secure. As soon as I have the guards to send, I mean. He has a soldier bring a staff for you. A fair reward for your aid, I hope. Let me know if you want to remove any more pests. I'd be happy to hunt more pests. Well, I think there are a bunch more stalkers breeding in one of the other abandoned wings. They've been left alone for a while, so it might be a bit more dangerous than what you already encountered. They are in the east wing, the area we lost to lava. To get to them, you'll need to enter that wing through a back door. How do those creatures breed? We don't know. All we know is that if one of them is left alone for a while, more will appear. Lots more. We call it breeding, but that's not really what it is. We think. Nothing in the corruption makes sense. Where is the entrance? Leave the base to the north and head east. The entrance is in the east side of the valley, just past the woods. Okay, noted then. Fleet collar staff, is this good for him then? Oh yeah, definitely. This causes way more damage than the mage's staff. And a bonus to magical damage and cold resistance. Okay, so as far as the base goes, we have explored all that we could explore, so we can carry on now. Although, did I miss something here? Okay, no, this is just a random open area. Okay, I didn't open this door though. Third age. I like how I was able to get some coins without anybody noticing. Once the Treaty of the Five Powers was signed in cycle 6237, ending the Black Age and decades of civil war, the Pact Powers returned to their favorite activity, crushing the Far Lands. Within a few years, the barbarians and outsiders had been beaten back. This was the beginning of the Third Age, a new time of peace and prosperity. This time the Pact had Avadon to watch over it. Talera, the first master of Avadon, was impartial, cunning, and ruthless. None who would disrupt the Pact escaped her wrath. But, of course, war of the size and scale of the Black Age invariably left a variety of grudges, unpunished crimes, and blood debts. Many resented the Pact for denying them the lost lands or bloody revenge they felt was their due. But these aggrieved parties soon learned to stay quiet or attract the attention of Avadon. The current year is cycle 6315. All who fought in the Black Age are safely dead, sometimes even of old age. For decades, the old days of prosperity and security returned. It was even hoped that many of the old grudges were forgotten. For decades, the five powers of the Pact were unlikely allies, each disliking the fear in the others. Each united by a common need to band together for strength. But then came the sack of Avadon in 6312. With that, the dark times returned. Okay, so it looks like I explored every section except for this little room. And I know I probably don't have to read the stuff in the codex, to be perfectly honest, but I still like having as much backstory as I can. Okay, that's pretty annoying, that there's that glitch though, where your characters can get stuck, including your main one. Okay, there we go. Okay. Hunting the swarms, so we have that now. Go ahead and take care of that. The eastern side of this lava pool is covered with bones. Most of them are weirdly twisted, as if they came from the horrors of the corruption. Not all of them are, though. As you cross this narrow land bridge, you hear bubbling and hissing from the caldera to the north. Several of those two-legged creatures climb out of it. Oh, great. I'm gonna assume they're immune to fire, though. Got any more for me? Doesn't look like it. Okay, I guess we can just sell those then. Okay. Well, no treasure for us yet until we get rid of these. You find, unsurprisingly, that you have been ambushed. Several stalkers lurch out of the shadows. One of them is much larger than the others. It looks at you and emits a loud screeching noise. This is a little mysterious, as the creature has no orifices you can see from which such a sound can emerge. Some sage here will probably eventually give the thing an autopsy and solve the mystery. Your immediate attention is currently taken up by self-defense. Oh, that's booty. Why do they keep going after him? Dang it. Stop doing that. Okay. Okay, you can't really cast much right now. They really knocked my sorcerer down a peg, didn't they? The huge stalker lets out a loud screech. Its movements speed up and its attacks grow more strong and vicious. What the heck? You strike down the pack leader of another swarm of Crushing horrors. It's starting to be clear why so many of the monitor bases have fallen. Human warriors are limited and precious, and this infected land seems to be able to create swarms of these monsters without limits. Composite bow. We'll definitely give that to him. Alright, well, at least we got some more loot out of it. Oh my god. And here we are getting mugged outside too. Alright, hopefully we can wipe them out quickly. Okay, good thing we can then, it looks like. Okay, well, at least we got some access to some loot now. That doesn't really do a whole lot of damage, I'll tell that. Okay, that was just for, like, the most basic loot ever, though. What the heck, game? Wait. We'll do that. Alright. Let's finally max these out. The maximum level for these the basic skills, by the way, is going to be 4. We got Cleta up there. Alright, Yannick has had to use quite a few potions, so we'll give that to him. Ah, yes, more enemies of the corruption to kill now. Oh yeah, I think you want to have your Blade Master challenging often, because they do keep going for my other characters here. Yeah, we definitely needed that vitality boost, so. Alright, what was it? Strength that leveled up here? Yep, okay. We'll just do that then. This and this. Make sure those are maxed out. Yeah, definitely the ice turret is doing so much wonders for me. Especially with all these enemies we have to face and fight. Honestly, that long range attack they're doing right now is kind of annoying here. Not gonna lie. This thing just looks like a giant butt or whatever it's supposed to be. If I'm being completely honest here. What the heck? It's split into multiple ones, wow. What's good about having a Tinker Mage in your party, though, is the fact that your turrets, once they get strong enough, can actually tank a good chunk of the damage here. So it's not just your group. Okay, make sure those are maxed out too. Now my Tinker Mage is very strong against disarming mines and the like. Oh, cool. We found an exit right here, so we can just go right to there when we need to. There is a warrior standing on this platform, staring out over the caldera. He wears the armor of a pack soldier, though it is very odd to find anyone out here in the corruption alone. His back is to you. He stares out into the distance and sways slowly from one foot to the other. Hello? He turns around. The first thing you notice is his heel. It's a sliver of it, about 6 inches long, buried in his chest. The second thing you note is his face. His eyes are dead, his skin is white, and chunks of his head are missing. You have a bit of a thing sticking out of you. The corrupted soldier says something in return. It comes out as a long, incomprehensible string of gibberish. Then his jaw falls off. Then he lunges at you. As the hideous creature lunges around the platform, the piece of metal embedded in him begins to glow. It emits a low, pulsing sound. You start to feel disoriented. Your mind is clouded. Oh, did he really just try to charm the turret? Wow, okay. Kill this fool quickly. The unfortunate soldier collapses. His body instantly begins to melt away. The flesh evaporates into a sickly mist. It's disgusting. Eventually, there is nothing left but the odd sliver of metal. You take it. Someone in Monitor Bay C might be fascinated by the phenomenon. Okay, he also dropped an iron short sword, which we don't need, but that reward sounds very good that he dropped something here. Alright, to make things more convenient for us, let's just head in through that way. And then go in through here. We can recharge really quick here. And then go in. Good thing we opened that entrance, right? And also we can, I think we can clear out that quest too. Let me check real quick. I pulled a chunk of iron out of a dead guy near here. Marlene puts on a pair of thick gloves and takes the vile item away. She inspects it closely. She sniffs it. Yes, she says, that is magic. Give me some time with it and I'll see what I can do. You go to the dining hall and kill time for a few hours. Marlene eventually sends an assistant to fetch you. Marlene proudly presents you with a dagger. The energy and the iron transfer to this very well. Assassin's Dirk. Ooh, that does more damage than what we have now, so let's put that on. Not that my character needs to use the blade or anything, but, you know. In situations where we might have to. There were indeed a lot of stalkers in the East Wing. Now they are dead. You tell Saber the tale. He isn't pleased. I didn't think there would be that many. Monitor Bay C's position is more precarious than we thought. I need to have a long, hard talk with Ophira. An elegant silk sash is brought for you. Fair payment for your help, I thought. You have been a great help to us. Anything else I can hunt for you? Not yet. I'm sure they're out there. I just don't know where. Keep checking in with me. Actually, yeah, let's switch those out. We can definitely give a boost to that Assassin's Dirk later. Alright, in the meantime, since we don't have any new quests, we pretty much explored all the outer region. Although what we could anyway. Let's just go ahead and head over to where we are meant to go. The Decaying Border. Alright, with that in mind, I will save the game right here, and I'll see you all soon with the next part.